rule, but also in the underlying bill, which I believe encroaches on the constitutional principle of separation of power, particularly the President's authority as Commander-in-Chief. And regretfully, this rule prevents every single member of this body, both Democrats and Republicans, from offering an amendment to an emergency wartime supplemental appropriations act, a highly unprecedented attack on the democratic process. Mr. Speaker, I recognize the majority is insistent on a forced pullout from Iraq. But the language in this supplemental puts this war and the soldiers' lives on autopilot. This legislation makes a flashpoint decision about the war, about our men and women on the ground, with little regard to the actual facts 6 months, a year, and indeed 17 months from now. It looks like magic 8-ball foreign policy. Last night, Mr. Speaker, I offered an amendment to the Rules Committee. Unfortunately, it was not made in order. But it would have required this Congress to reevaluate the situation in Iraq at each of these timelines in the so-called MRTA language. So whatever benchmarks, then we would have to come back and vote again, a clean up or down vote, whether or not we want to bring the troops home. And, Mr. Speaker, that is especially important at the drop-dead date of August of 2008, when this bill basically says no matter what, the troops come home, even if we have got the bad guys on the run. I think every member of this body would want to support an amendment like this so that we would once again be able to vote and reconsider, considering the situation on the ground. So this legislation sets a dangerous precedent. And I respectfully ask my colleagues, oppose the rule, oppose the underlying bill. Let's work, both Democrat and Republican alike. Let's produce a supplemental that will actually pass this House, pass the Senate, be signed by the President, do right by our American soldiers and our people and the people in Iraq.
Time has expired. The gentleman